Why do Europeans get the worst slack for their empires when all of the empires in history did the same thing as them? Because European empires are the most recent, and the most technologically sophisticated of the bunch, because of recency. No one alive remembers the Mongol Empire, for example. Slack is a positive thing. I think the word you meant to use was flack. Because many of them are still active and some have only gained independence in the last 100 years. There are people alive who still remember being under their conquest. And it still affects countries today. They won. Because they are more recent, I suppose. Some scars are fresher than others. Most recent. Men, this Reddit thread is a fucking salt mine. Try living in a country where that got colonized by them and you will understand the hate. Also, a lot of Asian people still dislike Japanese, USA, and Chinese for their imperialist past. Their body counts are also some of the highest. King Leopold alone is responsible for 10 million deaths. The indigenous genocides of North America range from 10 million to 100 million. We don't have a better idea than that because no one really bothered to keep track. It mattered that little to them. Lol, don't play it dumb. Admitting it is taboo, but Europeans mostly improved the nations they colonized or enslaved. That's why they keep bitching. It's just envy, because they never managed to do it themselves. Even with all the theft going on, they were much better off at least 90% of the time, even those under the Spanish, and when they left, their rate of improvement slowed down, always. Contrast that to someone like the Ottomans who turned places into overtaxed and oppressed shitholes and castrated their slaves, so they or their descendants aren't there to complain, or maybe African tribes constantly raiding each other for slaves and building no real empires. People mainly commenting on how they were the most recent, but they were also the worst. Using industrial processes they turned people and land into money on a scale never seen before. The worst slack? Words have meanings. Same reason as you can openly say anything at all about the white race or Christianity. Anything you like on any platform and not have any issues. Have a think about that. Because losers are jealous of success. All of them in history did not do the same thing. Beating up people, throwing them off on a ship, taking them on a faraway land, and selling them as livestock was only done by Europeans. Our land Indian subcontinent was colonized long before Europeans knew there was a place called India. But none of the previous colonial rules brought a portion of the horror that the British did. There were many shitty Mughal rulers, but they did not actively cause a custom-made famine. They did not shoot people for sport. There was no large-scale religious conflict in this region before British colonization. Thanks to British divide and rule policy, we cannot escape the horror of one religious riot to another. They even fucked us up while leaving our land. The entire dispute over Kashmir is strategically designed by British government. It's only an American thing. Nobody give a shit about empires.